How you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. First, I want to say hello to a bunch of new subscribers who showed up in the past week. Hello, and thank you so much. This is a showcase for Back Faction's Hawkeye. This is number 1, and I think this is 2012. We'll take a look when we get inside. This is the one that's influencing the new Hawkeye TV show, so I thought I'd take this out and showcase this. Here we got a crazy pizza ad, and here's the splash page. There's no indicia yet, so we'll get to the indicia. Okay, so that's the splash page. That's Hawkeye falling out of a building, explosion or whatever, tossed out the window. This is Hawkeye Volume 4, number 1. Okay, here's the art. I'm not too crazy about this art. If you've been watching my channel, you've seen me talk about the art. I've been talking about such wonderful art. I don't know. This to me is adequate. Okay, here's the second page, a whole page for the credits, rather than you could put everything over here and save a page. But now this is Modern Marvel. Modern Marvel doesn't care about that. Okay, he became the greatest sharpshooter known to man. Then he joined the Avengers. This is what he does when he's not being an Avenger. That's all you need to know. Okay, David Aja, colorist. I cannot stand the colors in this. Okay, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what to say. But let's look at the okay, this is Hawkeye number 1. This is number 12. Does it tell you what volume? Because it's volume 4, but it doesn't tell you in the comic. So this is the 4th Hawkeye series. The other ones being mini-series. I think this is his first ongoing, but I don't think it lasted too long. Okay, so he shoots an arrow and smashes into the building and then falls onto the car. Okay, and there's his costume. It looks like a dumpy garbage bag with a purple arrow on it. Taking a sip of my delicious Tim Hortons coffee, and now he's in the hospital, which I do like. And he fell from this building and everything. He doesn't have superpowers. He's not Spider-Man. He's just a guy who shoots arrows. And that's one of the things about Hawkeye is he's gumption personified. This is a guy who has no superpowers and shoots an archaic weapon and ends up joining the Avengers. So he's typically been shown as brash, aggressive, like just like he's the alpha male. He runs head first into battle. He argues with people. He butts heads. That famous story where he just storms out of the Avengers because of affirmative action. This is just a hothead, and here he is being pushed out of the wheelchair in this adequate artwork, subpar coloring. It's just some brown, some purple. He's got a gray shirt. I talked about some of the unrealistic colors of the past, and it always worked because it was comic book color. I don't know what you call this. And here he gets out of the wheelchair. That's typical Hawkeye. I could see he's not going to wait. He gets out of it. So far I don't see any personality conflicts. He's not listening to the doctor's advice. He's getting out of the wheelchair and he's walking along. Perfect Hawkeye. Here we have Grimm. I've never seen this show. Any good? Is it worth pursuing? And then, I think I skipped a page. No, I didn't. So he goes into the vet. There's a dog. Dog's bleeding. What happened? Hey, that's a $200 wheelchair you just kicked into traffic. Oh yeah, right. Okay. And I could see Hawkeye doing that kind of stuff. So the orderly's all pissed off because he ruined a good wheelchair, and he gets in the taxi. Now, the Hawkeye that I know would have got this guy's face, argued with him, and then pulled out money and paid for it. But this guy's just whatever. I'm Hawkeye. I'm just gonna get in here. And traffic, whatever, people cursing. That's typical New York. I do like the cityscapes. This is like Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn. This is what it looks like. This is the glamorous. Look at this. This is 90% of Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan. Just walking by here. So that's kind of realistic. you know, graffiti on everything. And here he is going home. And what do we have here? Back off, Rush. Maybe I cue you, okay, bro? When either the landlord and his tracksuit mafia take possession of the stuff inside someone's place, they take great joy in dropping it all on the curb. So here we have him walking in on people getting evicted. And it's not good, bro. She not pay the rent. So this is the landlord. And the landlord's, she's not paying the rent, so they're kicking people out. So hang on. Just 1 second. Yeah, what is it, bro? It's all good in the hood and all. But could you really do this, Kurt? Could he just triple our rent? It's not fair. He owns the building. I kind of think he can. Well, so here he's flashback. You can tell it's a flashback because of the change in color. And this is the talking with the vet about the dog. And here's Darksiders. And here's Hawkeye. Everybody's on the roof. And notice, this is an Avengers comic. This is Hawkeye from the Avengers. You know, he's been to space. He was instrumental in the Kree-Skrull War. He went back in time, became a cowboy with the two-gun kid, and, you know, this is Hawkeye. Hanging out in a t-shirt, drinking beers on the roof, you know, with all the hipsters. This is what the Avengers do, you know? And here he meets this dog. He gives the dog a slice of pizza, and you know, he goes, actually, I got a big bag of money, and he buys the dog off this guy or whatever. And he goes in and talks to everybody. Whatever. He fed the dog some pizza, so now he's friends with the dog, and he's talking to all the Russian mafia guys. And what does he do? He buys the building. He goes, I buy the building, and he go, I pay everybody's rent. I buy the building. And I wasn't asking, and he throws the card like Bullseye, and he fights everybody. So here's Hawkeye, first fight of the issue, and he's in a tie, and no bows and arrows, and he fights everybody, and then he takes he's taking the dog. Here comes the tracksuit mafia, come back. Second fight, he throws him through the window, and runs around, pulls out a gun. They're shooting at him. He gets shot with a gun. The dog attacks the owner because he gave him a slice of pizza. And he kicks the dog. Oh no, the dog gets hit by a car. That takes care of that flashback. This is pretty cool. I like Dan Slott, Giuseppe, I don't know how to pronounce the name. I guess he's fighting, what's his name? The Stegron, the dinosaur man. And the dog, you see, he flips the coin through the windshield. And oh no, I can't watch. Oop, hey. Back in time again. He's fighting the mafia, fighting them. And what kind of Avenger does this? You know, fighting everybody, takes the dog, and back at, he gets a dog. What's the dog's name? Pizza. I call him Pizza. Okay, there you go. And here's the first appearance of Hawkeye in Avengers. He was a bad guy who fought Iron Man because he was tricked by the Black Widow. She was originally a Russian spy, and she recruited Hawkeye to fight and get industrial secrets from Iron Man. So he, you know, that's how brash he was. This is his first limited series, and that's his first wife, Mockingbird. And then there was a third series, and this is the fourth. As you could tell, I'm not too fond of the series, but I thought I should showcase it because of the TV show. You know, here's some 3D designs. They threw Hawkeye on the roof. This isn't Hawkeye. I don't know who this mopey, introspective hipster dude is, but it ain't Hawkeye. You know, maybe it's a Skrull. Maybe they'll reveal it's a Skrull. But all right, so we see Hawkeye getting smashed out. First off, the real Hawkeye would have swung through the window and been saved. Wouldn't have even broken his leg. But okay, so he breaks his leg. Everybody trips up. And then the real Hawkeye would have broke the cast and got out. So far I'm on par, but I just don't like this art. You gotta keep in mind that this is Clint Barton. Clint Barton is a man so brash that he wanted to impress the Black Widow, so he took on Iron Man with a bow and arrow. and he gave Tony Stark a run for his money. He invented some trick arrows to up his game. Then he switched sides and joined the Avengers. And he fought Doctor Doom. He fought Kang. I'm pretty sure he fought Galactus. Hold on, take a sip of coffee. Yeah, he took on a Shield when they went corrupt, and through he argued with Captain America, and then he quits the Avengers and leads the Thunderbolts, a team of ex supervillains, and reforms them all and trains them all into a good superhero team where they're fighting cosmic level threats and stuff like that. All because he's a man of action. And there was one particular comic where he had to take a shot onto a roof while he was bleeding. And he shoots, and he had to estimate where this device was, and he had to shoot from like down the street, up a building, and hit this thing in order to save everybody. And Spider-Man was there, and he takes the shot and then passes out. And Spider-Man swings by and gets onto the roof and sees that Hawkeye missed, and Spider-Man deactivates the device. And Hawkeye wakes up from his beating, and he says, I hit that, right? He goes, I had to hit it. And, Spider-Man, he knows something's up, and he's like, yeah, of course you hit it. He's like, good, because I can't miss. I never miss. That's all I got. I'm just a guy with a bow and arrow, and I can't miss. I train 24/7. I'm always working out. He goes, I'm always practicing. He goes, because I'm on a team with Thor. I'm on a team with Iron Man. I'm on a team with Captain America. I'm on a team with the Scarlet Witch who can manipulate reality. He goes, all I am was a guy with a bow. He goes, I have to be the best. I have to train. I have to, I can't miss. He was just so high strung and everything. And Spider-Man was just like, oh, geez, I just thought this guy was like the hothead, of the Avengers. He goes, and when I'm not training, I'm researching on how to develop new arrows, and just this high strung, high intensity man of action. And Peter Parker, Spider-Man, was just like, oh, I have a new respect for Hawkeye. So like before he passed out the second time, because Hawkeye had sustained a beating, he was like, yeah, you didn't miss, you did good. He's like, oh, good, because he's this alpha male that needs to be the best. But he has to prove himself, constantly proving himself, because his brother was a criminal. They grew up as carnies. They grew up in a circus, and his brother used to beat him until he was good enough to be a circus performer. And then he found out that his brother was ripping off the circus, and he challenged his brother. His brother was the swordsman, and Barney Batten, and he was ashamed of his brother. And then he gets seduced by the Black Widow, and he takes on Iron Man, and he's ashamed, but he doesn't admit it. He does the right thing and becomes a good guy, and constantly trains, and then his reward, the government forces him out of the Avengers, and he goes ballistic, freaking out. He's like, they told him there's too many white guys in the Avengers, so he got kicked out because he was the least powerful. He flipped out. He was pissed off, and what does he do? He becomes a security guard and demands he's the head of security, and he's taken out super powerful guys with bow and arrow just to prove to everybody. He makes it back into the Avengers, and then he finds that the Thunderbolts need a leader. He quits, joins Thunderbolts, takes over the team. Again, joins the team, takes over the team, trains the team, makes them a superhero team, and then when the Thunderbolts, comic gets canceled, he comes back to the Avengers. This is a guy who's constantly number one, constantly knows what to do, constantly fighting, to the point Captain America and him constantly fought. He was constantly challenging Captain America. He was constantly challenging Steve Rogers. And then when Steve Rogers left and another person became Captain America, he was like, you ain't Captain America. Boom, went right into his face. This was a guy who, talk first, ask questions later. And then we have, just look, the Mopeeye guy. Look at his posture. Mopeeye guy. I'm going to mope. I'm moping. I'm gonna mope. I know this art would be good on a non superhero comic book, and like it or not, Hawkeye's a superhero. He's been back in time. He's been in the future. He took the Hank Pym's growth potion and became Giant Man for a while. You know, this is a superhero. He's been on the scroll whole world. You know, he's been to other dimensions. He's a superhero. Here he is. There he is. He's just hanging out with his hipster buddies, having a barbecue on the roof, drinking beer in Brooklyn. He's got Pizza the dog. Look at him. He's moping. He's moping. You know. All right, so he goes in. He's not even... Hawkeye is freaking huge. He trains 24/7. He's built like Arnold Schwarzenegger at his prime. Look at all his old appearances. Look at that. There's Hawkeye. There's Hawkeye. He's ripped. There was a famous issue where somebody picked up his bow and they couldn't pull it. They couldn't pull his bow because you had to pull with something like 200 pounds of pressure in order to draw the bow. You know, here he is. Yeah, he's got arms, I guess. You know, he's built like your chemistry teacher. You know, I don't know. I bought this. I think I got the full run. I don't even know. Don't even care. I quit reading Marvel in 2014. This is 2012. This was one of the main offenders, this comic. You know, I just... This isn't... I don't know who this guy is. This is Mopeeye. There we go. Mopeeye, the archer. Just, I wasn't a fan of this. This was a guy who sheer force... This was John Wick. John Wick with a bow. Constantly training, constantly getting in people's face. He was the wild card of the Avengers. He was the one that you were like, oh God, Hawkeye's here again. This is going to be rough. And this is Mopeeye. Mopeeye shows up, doesn't fight the mafia, doesn't chase them away, you know, just shows up with a duffel bag of money and buys everybody. And then they have an obligatory fight because oh yeah, this is a Marvel comic book. I don't know. You know. Just didn't particularly care for this run. I thought that, you know, they didn't do the character justice, and they're afraid to put him in his cool costume with the mask and everything like that because they were pitching. This whole series was an obvious pitch for a Netflix series, and there you go. You got a Netflix series. Congratulations. But comic book sales are down. What do you want me to say? You know, nothing else to say. Now I'm repeating myself. But this is the Matt Faction. Aja and Hollingsworth. I thought the coloring was terrible. The art was adequate, but it's not superhero comic book artwork. And this is Mopeeye. Mopeeye the Avenger. Thanks a lot. See you around. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to go look in my comic book room and find something else. Thank you for the new subs. I try to do comics that I like, but since there's a Netflix show about the Hawkeye, I thought I'd talk about this series. You know what? I'm going to break out an earlier Hawkeye series so we can compare and contrast. There we go. Going to go get it right now. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.